Hello everyone, DonTheCrown here, and today I want to talk real quick about the new Torchlight Infinite kind of like end game system. So if you're kind of familiar with how Torchlight Infinite kind of works in terms of the mapping stuff, is basically you'd have these like cards that you have to find and collect and kind of upgrade, and it kind of allows you to customize your end game experience. Well, they've kind of done away with that completely, and now we have a whole ton of different passive trees that we can invest points into. When I say there's a whole bunch of them, there are a total of, I believe, 16 different trees that have points in, and we're going to have 92 passive points to invest. And these allow you to do all sorts of crazy stuff. And I was kind of going to go through them one by one, but I'm just going to kind of try to hit the high notes here for some of them. But most importantly, most of the ones that are kind of a season mechanic have the ability to pretty much like force themselves to be on your maps permanently at all times without using a compass. So starting off with probably most people's favorite mechanic is the God of War, and the nodes here, these 15 nodes that are here, all add a chance for God of War to be on your Netherrealm stages, and add them all up and it comes up to 100%. So if you have all of these, you're always going to have God of War on your maps, and it's going to feel really good. You can go over and also invest in like increasing the duration of God of War. You can also go over here and get more stages to them. There's points here for getting more gameplay progress as you go. You can also make it so that when you get to higher stages, you get more quantity. And yeah, these are just going to be pretty insane. You can invest and figure out different strategies for these. You're also going to be able to have different setups. So you can have a setup for like low budget, like boss rushing, like no compass kind of runs, or you can have ones where you're like, you don't take these 15 points and instead you're investing heavily because you know you're going to use a compass for these. And I believe that they have all sorts of crazy compasses for all of the mechanics now that make things harder but give you more rewards. I know somebody linked me one that was like 100 stages or something like that for God of War. Just gets lots of value to it, which is pretty cool. Now you can kind of go through these. I'm going to put a link to the void chart thing here in the description down below, but yeah, these are just really crazy. Now one thing to note is that you do unlock them at different time marks, so there might be some of these that you might want to invest into early on and then shift out of. So things like the commodities page you're going to get right away, and then things like gear and legendary and Netherrealm talents, they're kind of the next tier of things for you to get. And you're going to start unlocking things like Black Sail and Dark Surge and Cube. And then you're not going to unlock the final stuff like the Profound until the very end. And I believe that the Profound stuff is this here. And what this is kind of, I believe you get this from doing like end game bosses. And it kind of like helps push your Atlas towards like, do I either want to get more bosses or less bosses? Do I want all of my maps to be harder? So this makes it so that you can have one more like mod added to all your Netherrealm stages, but it costs you 4 of your portals, so you're not going to be able to die as much as you're going into them, which would definitely be very interesting. Kind of encourage a little bit more defensive play style than maybe we've been doing in the past. And then also having the ability to not consume your compasses, but it makes all of your maps a little bit harder. So these are kind of interesting, definitely cool to see what they're doing. I'm very excited to see that they gave us Misfill stuff, although the Misfill thing is pretty much just like increasing the chances that there's going to be a Misfill resident in your map, and then making it so that, you know, you have more Misfill residents, and then anytime an eye is dropped, it has a chance to get duplicated, stuff like this. Now, things that some of these are going to have a lot of options. There's like a ton of different cube stuff here. There's a whole bunch of things for the pirates game mode. So you can make it so there's always going to be pirates. You can make it so that plane anchors have a 2.5% chance to carry a Void Sea Flame that drops legendary hero relics. I'm not necessarily sure exactly how this is going to work. If it's going to give you like a 2.5% chance to get legendary hero relics, just like killing stuff in the Netherrealm, or you have to actually go and do the mechanic. But some of these are pretty juicy for sure. Now, things like Dark Surge, I think was one of the ones that was kind of highlighted in the like the launch like season trailer thing. And it has this particular node, and this is one that's kind of a little bit, I think, spicy looking at it right away. So in the Netherrealm stages, the chance for ultimate legendary gear, which is like boxes, like you can see as the icon, eternity, stuff like that, it's going to have a drop chance increased by 3,600%. But legendary gear dropped during Dark Surge can only have up to 2 legendary aptitude. This is kind of like the LP or crafting potential of these legendaries. And so basically what this says is you can shoot for the moon or shoot for the stars, but all the other legendaries you drop are going to be terrible. Now note that ultimate legendaries do not have LA. They don't have any legendary aptitude, and so you don't need to worry about that. But I don't know how to feel about this one just yet. I guess if you're trying to like farm your own eternity, this could be pretty neat. Like there's lots of stuff in here to really kind of increase the odds of you getting some really juicy drops. And very definitely interested to see how much people really go in for these and kind of what the overall strategy. I could really definitely see people going and like spending 15 points to make it so you always have Dark Surge, always have God of War, always have a whole bunch of other stuff, and then you pivot to something else. For example, the Commodities one is one that you get very early here. It can give you a chance to duplicate your embers. And like previously, like ultimate embers kind of were not very much. Now they're quite a bit more money. We'll have to see like kind of where they shake out. But last season, I know for myself, I was really struggling at several points for energy cores. And now we're gonna have the opportunity to make it so that whenever you drop energy cores, they're pretty much just getting duplicated. And the bosses have a 40% chance to drop 20 additional cores. So you can get quite a bit of cores this way. If you need Elixirs of Oblivion, you'll be able to target farm them more. Sands, like I know a lot of people really liked running the sand cards, especially early on in the season, in order to get a whole bunch of stuff to craft. So this could be a really good way to kind of like shift your progress here. Now, one thing I did want to talk about is star shards. So you might have seen star shards before, and you'll see it again here on the Netherrealm constellation. Star shards are a new thing where when you kill bosses in time mark 7 and 8, you are not necessarily going to be like moving a little meter forward to get yourself closer to killing the boss. Instead, you're going to be dropping star shards, which are kind of the entry ticket to going and fighting the boss. And so I think this is going to be a little bit different. I wonder if you're going to be able to trade for these. I know there are a lot of people that like to do boss rushing, but they might not necessarily have a boss killing build per se. So able to trade these to other people that just want to farm bosses all day, which I think could be really neat. I think that overall, a lot of these are going to be very, very, very crazy, very interesting. And there's going to be so many different ways to farm this season. And you're going to be able to switch stuff around and try stuff out. I know that one of these here, this one, gives you a chance to drop additional winding keys, which is the thing that you can like respec your talent tree here for. And so we're going to be trying out a whole bunch of different stuff. Very excited to be just really cracking open the end game this season. I haven't really picked what build I'm going to do yet. I might just play Rayhan Train once again, but we'll see. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like I said, I'm going to put a link so you can check out all of these for yourself. If I went through all of them point by point, it would probably be a 30-40 minute long video, but just kind of give you kind of my thoughts so far. Really just like overall very excited about this, and I think that it's going to be very good for the game. So we'll see you guys again soon. Check you later.